Hello everyone, hope you're all well. I am just going to make a couple of batches of soap, just a loaf of each. I'm going to do wild fig and then I'm going to do silver needle rose tea. So I might just put these two on one video. So first of all, I need to just weigh out my oils and then mix up a little bit of titanium dioxide. I think I'm going to start with wild fig, which will get the most complicated one out of the way first because it's got more colours than anything else. I'm also doing a batch of Inches Lane as well, but I won't film that because I've done that one before. We've done wild fig before as well, but it's been a while. So I'm just going to do one loaf. It's just a little restock. I'd normally make a lot more, but I just thought I want to have a plate this afternoon. We've got a Christmas release just went live yesterday. And then we're doing Christmas part 2, so I'm just going to make whatever I feel like I want to make for Christmas part 2 because there's so many varieties of soap that I make, and I thought I'm just going to have a play and I'm going to do what I feel like I want to do. So I just need to pour off my solid oils which are melted in here. So I want 1,112. That. Just one loaf. We've still got orders flying in thick and fast, so if you want to order from our Christmas range, there's a link below. I'm just going to get some tissue paper. Now, the shop link is always below, and if you're interested in soap recipes, then there's a link to Etsy below as well. We've been selling quite a lot on Etsy recently. A few of you have found me, so that's nice. Okay, just need to weigh out my sunflower oil. Always a bit manic, but once the first bit's out of the way, like getting it, like the main sort of first lot of products made, then I can relax a little bit more. And just have a little play, you know? Okay. Such a stress getting it all ready, because there's just so many different products. Okay, that's my oils. These are quite warm, so I'm just going to leave these for a little while. My lye will be cool because I've used the ice water method. So let's go through the colours we are using. Okay, so my base is going to be a pale blue. And then the colours I use inside this one is cerulean mica from Mica Mama. I'll get you in a bit closer when I do these. And then pistachio mica from Mica Mama, and of course my favourite plum purple. So these are like figgy colours. Move that out of the way. Then I've got to mix some titanium dioxide, just a little bit so the base is nice and creamy. And then a little bit of ultramarine blue in there. So I just want to mix, so just for one loaf I'm just going to use like 2 teaspoons and then mix it with a bit of water to just disperse it in this little tiny container. And then we'll add that to the base, and then we'll just add a little bit of ultramarine blue so that we can sort of gauge the colour. So there's a video that I've made of this, like a reel, like a short, that went up on my Facebook page, and it's just gone mental. And I'm getting asked all the time, what's that purple, what's that blue, what's that green? And it's all available like on these videos on YouTube, but people, they want it like, you know, there and then. Now I just need to get my stick blender. Okay, so I'm using my KitchenAid because it's a bit gentler, and I'm using a 4-blade end piece. So, plug that in. just got to weigh out my scent. So Wild Fig is from Scent Pacifique. And if you've been watching them me a while, then you'll know that they are one of my favourite suppliers because pretty much consistently good results with their fragrance oils. There's a few that sometimes cause me issues, but not anything too serious. So I'm using about 2% fragrance in this. So I think we can begin. I just need to get another teaspoon. I thought I brought out, but of course my disorganised self didn't. So let's begin. I've just forgotten the gloves now, for Christ's sake. I'll get there eventually. I'm just going to show you a little trick I've been using for this. These gloves are a bit, they're not got any powder in them, so they're hard to wear, and I get like sweaty hands in them. I don't like it, so I'm going to use a little bit of clay which I've got in this bucket to just coat my hand like an isometric bar person, gymnast or rings, and put them on. And it just helps it not to be all like, ew, there's a horrible feeling I don't like. I don't really like the feeling of having clay on my hands like that either, but it's better, and then they're easier to use again the next day because they've got powder in them. Okay, so let's have a little look-see. So I've got 3 jugs for my 3 colours, ultramarine, everything is to hand. Next thing I need is a sieve. Oh good lord. So it really should only take about 20 minutes to make a batch, but fanning about like this is the trouble, you see. So let's get this lye in. I'm just going to sieve it through just in case we've got any bits. Shouldn't have. You just sometimes do, if you're using ice method, it can sometimes create little speckles of undissolved lye in the bottom, so just be careful if you use the ice method because it can be quite nasty. Pop up to the side, and then we can stick blend this and do our colours. There, there. Okay, you're close. I think you can see enough. Okay, stick blend. Right, yeah. I'm going to pour my 3 colours and do my markers. So a little bit in there. Sorry for my phone sounds. I usually have my phone on silent, but people get pissed off with me because my phone's on silent and I don't hear them if they need me or ringing me. I don't hear it. I have it on silent because of this reason though, because it's really, really annoying. So this is plum, this is pistachio. This is Pierre Le Resistance. Plum purple, which is just the best mica there ever has been, I think. Yeah, a nice vibrant shade, not too much. As this is only 1 loaf, I'm just going to be using about a teaspoon of each colour, and this is the cerulean mica. Look at that beautiful shade. Okay, bit of that in there. Goes there. Then I'm just going to get my ultramarine blue, which looks like this. I'm going to put a little tiny smidge into that white there, and hopefully that should be enough. It really goes such a long way that I don't want to use too much. Let's move these out of the way. I'll mix those in a second before we pour them, so they don't thicken up too much, and then we'll get a mould ready. So I'm going to use a Nurture £5 mould today. So let's just get that white in there. Give it a little whiz up. Yeah, that's perfect shade. Too hard because it's making bubbles. This is such a good fig. It's like, it smells like, it actually smells like fig. It really does, like a fresh fig. It's very earthy and not fruity. It's really like, almost like creamy, like a creamy fig. It's really good. We'll pour it in a minute. Let's just get these colours done with our scent. A little stickland. Reflection, I probably should have used the blender tip with the 2 blades rather. Alright, so let's start pouring them. Well, that's all done. I'm going to pour that green in after this blue straight away. Okay, these just have a tendency to sometimes thicken. Save a bit of that. Keep our spoon, yeah, it is thickening with that green, so you have to be careful with these micas because they can be pretty tricky. Okay. Purple's thickened as well. And the blue is thickened as well, so yeah, that's a bit of a pain in the bum. What I'm going to do is, rather than use a chopstick, I'm going to use my spoon to create a swirl. See, that pale blue's not really thickened too much at all, but the colours have. So let's just get them on and then we can do a quick swirl over the top. Wasn't expecting that to do that then. Still manageable, we still get like we'll still get a nice effect on it, and the colours merging are so pretty. But yeah, just beware. My oils might have been a bit hot. Just want to not have some of it all showing. I want every colour to show when I do this spoon technique in a minute. A right mess. Okay, use what we've got left of the pale blue. Okay. tidy. Quick wipe. My spoon. Okay. I'm going to go halfway across that side. Turn it around. And do the same thing on this side. And it will meet in the middle. And then we can use whatever colours we've got left to just create a little bit more colour on the top, which is like, not a lot, but there's bits, little bits. I've got to get that in the mould, but it will be fine. A bit more of that purple left, don't want to waste that. Okay, no, that's nice. That's nice. Right, I will see you for the cut of that one, and in a minute I will do the next one. So we'll do them back to back. Alright, so we're going to move on to Silver Needle Rose Tea. So I've got my stuff weighed out. It's not too hot this time. Just going to mix up some TD again. This one again has a white base but no blue. It's just going to be plain white. And then I use two different colours in this one, and we're using Forest Gold by Micah Mama there, and this one, Terracotta, which I don't think she does anymore, and it's really good red, but I don't even get it anymore, so I have to eke that out. Here's my water, a bit of water in there, dissolve that. So this is Silver Needle Rose Tea, and I'm just using the same name as the scent, and it's from Scent-Pacific. I'll show you. Silver Needle Rose Tea. I've already poured that off, ready. And the lye is there. And again, I'll have to use the sieve because I did make my lye with ice. If you're making lye with ice, it's just the same amount of water but with ice, and it just stops fumes and it stops you having to wait for too long for everything to cool down. That's in case you're new here or you didn't know that little method. I'm also using my 2-blade this time rather than 4-blade. Where's the bloody... oh, there's the end. Ironing. Okay. So that'll be for our colours in a second. Move that out of the way. So crowbars up. You can name the reference what that was below. If you're into 90s Christmas movies. Okay. Let's get this in. Stir, a little gentle stir, and then we'll stick them that. Nora. A bit more. Okay, it's thickening a bit as well. It's a bit pudding-like, but this scent that I'm going to use actually thins your batter. So that's a good job. So let's pour off 2 colours. Never done more than 2 colours with this soap. It's pretty simple in its design. It's just a chopstick swirl throughout, so no need for anything too drastic. I just want a little bit extra for the top. So here's that forest gold, which is actually really a lot like cerulean blue. Look at that. Forest gold. And make sure I've got plenty of this going in, because the last batch I made, it was a little bit on the faded colour side, and I like definite colour. If I'm going to bother using colour at all, unless it's clays and, you know, I want a softer sort of shade, I want it a definite colour. Here's the terracotta. See what I mean about that colour? So good. I think Nurture did a really good red one, so if you can recommend any good red micas, and I mean true red, let me know below and I will seek them out. Thank you very much. Okay, white. And here. There's our white. And I'm going to get my scent. Pour it in now. Just to stop that accelerating. So this Silver Needle Rose Tea is a definite rose scent, but it's not cloying and it's not too sickly. It's a really nice, fresh, clean rose. So if you're looking for a really good rose that doesn't accelerate, this is absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to stick blend. Okay. So let's pour. Let's get the white bit in. So it's loosened up quite nicely actually. Save some more of that for in a minute. I'm going to stir these. Okay, that's our trace. So let's pour the red in. Just pour you around. So let's go from this to this to this to this. Reserving a little bit for the top. Here's the green. And chopstick. Then more of these, and we'll go up and down this time. Like that. And then, come on, green. Spatula. Okay, I think we should be about ready. what I was looking for. Bringing some of that white over. This is quite Christmassy looking soap, but it's not a Christmas soap. But it does look like one. It does look kind of Christmassy, doesn't it? Okay. On the back of that, just bring that over. Just soften that edge. Look at that. It's very nice. Just finish that edge off there, a bit more, that's better. There we go. Silver Needle Rose Tea. So that'll be lovely to cut into tomorrow. And we'll cut these together, these two soaps I've made. And that's it. I will see you tomorrow for the cut. Or in a second. Okay. Ready to cut then. So this is wild fig here. So let's see what we got inside after it thickened up quite significantly yesterday. Let's have a look-see. And get my single wire cutter. I need to be careful because these are quite high. I think they're quite a lot higher than my other ones that I normally do in the slab mould. So just put these gloves back on. I put the clay into. Definitely is a major help, that. But now I'm going to try and get that little pinky finger in there. Okay. These gloves aren't the best gloves because they do actually let some like liquid in sometimes, but they're alright. Let's unmould. Unmould and see what we've got with wild fig. Quite excited to cut into this because normally it's in one big batch. So hold on, I've just got to get my trimmer. Rightio. So just with a vegetable peeler. Just take off the jaggedy bits. Bits everywhere. Okay, let's start cutting. It's not going to be too big. It's going to be quite big. I'm going to cut the ends off, I think, and then we've got some samples. So we'll see whatever we get out of this. Just going to gauge how wide we need to go because it's going to be quite heavy. You see just where that end piece is done. There. It's very nice actually. Okay, so that's 165 grams. So we can go maybe slightly smaller than usual. We want them to be about 155. Oh, crikey, that's 175. It doesn't matter, they are what they are, but you get your money's worth with this batch. Aren't they beautiful though? Look at that. Really pretty. So if you want one of these, they'll go up for sale. What the hell date are we at? I don't even know what the date is. Let me see. What is it? Oh, the 14th of November. So they'll probably go on sale around the end of the month, and then they will be, by the time we get around to shipping, they'll be ready to go out the door. And by the time they reach people, they should be ready to use. So end of November we'll do these. If you want one. I definitely want one. I think these are beautiful. They're actually one of my favourites, wild fig. It's such a pretty scent, and that earthy, lovely fig. I'll show you each one. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. See how many we're going to get out of this. I could have cut them on my other cutter actually. They're very nice. Just check that again. Yeah, now we're at 157, so that's about right. So I want my bars to be about 150, so the first ones will be a little bit heavier. I've just done a batch of this for a wholesale customer in London. She runs Crossness Engines, which is an old pump room, and wanted a couple of soaps to sell down there with their branding on. So we do that if you want your own soaps made. We do wholesale and we do soaps for private label as well. The only thing we don't do for wholesale is our own range as a white label product. I don't do that because it's our range, but if you want like soaps made for your business, then we can do that. I do get a lot of inquiries, things like that, so may as well put it out there. It's got a face. Just need to have a sip of my coffee in a minute. So Natalie's coming in a minute. She's coming in to help make some more whip soaps today while I pack some winter orders. So I've got to get this video done before she turns up. That is gorgeous, look at that. It's really, really nice. And it's a really, yeah, what a horrible rainy day out there today. It's going to be like this all weekend as well. So tomorrow, me and my sister are going to Cheltenham, which is one of the Cotswold towns, and we're doing, I do transcendental meditation. I went and learned how to do that a couple of years back, and we're doing a morning with my teacher tomorrow with several other people in a place in Cheltenham, so that'll be lovely. Look at that. So we'll be doing meditation morning tomorrow, and then we're going for lunch afterwards. That'll be very nice. But it's going to rain all weekend, so that won't be as nice. It won't be very nice. Oh, that's cool. I don't like that. Was that? It's picked up a tiny bit. Come on, focus. Picked up a tiny bit of the green there. Even proper snazzy. Yeah, all weekend it's supposed to rain, and somebody's just told me that we're supposed to get snow next week, but I don't know if I believe that. I hope not. Not yet. Okay, there's the last cut, and there's 2 samples. There we go. So that's wild fig, and then we're going to move on now to the other one, which is silver needle OT. So out of that batch, what do we get? 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 bars. 2 of which are quite large, so I will have one of the large ones. That's the one I'm going to have because that's the biggest. I'm going to give myself a treat and take the best one. Mine. Mine. Okay, so that's wild fig. Let's give that a little clean up. Move those bits. I've got to get a move on today because orders are coming in thick and fast for Christmas. Our release went live on Wednesday, and we got orders to ship everywhere. So if you are in the States, we are still shipping. I know a few people are a bit worried about the tariff thing, but we're not charging the extra. We're going to absorb the cost ourselves rather than put it on the customer. Because with shipping costs and things like that, it's already expensive. We do a little discount. If you spend over 50 quid, you get a bit of money off. But yeah, the tariffs, we're just absorbing the costs ourselves, so at 10%, it's not too bad. It's just like, sometimes you've got to think, okay, like I don't want to lose my customers, so we'll take the hit and hopefully keep everybody on board, you know? So yeah, for the orders that we get from the States, it's worth it to me to keep hold of people. We don't get masses and masses, but we've got some loyal customers, and we don't want to lose anybody, you know. It's bad enough with Europe, with all that hoo-ha, made everything so difficult. So We don't want to lose the States as well. So if you're in the States and you want to order, you can of course order, and we'll take the 10% cut. Okay. So here's Silver Negro's tea. I'm just going to trim that edge off again. Oh, bugger. Let's show you what we got here then. Move Wild Fig up there. This one can go down here. So, it came out really pretty on the top. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous! Again, we'll have 2 end pieces. Just cut these a little bit less wide. There's our first cut. Very loud out there today. They're having new windows in the shops at the top of this alleyway, so it's just been crazy noisy for the last week. Oh, I'm happy with this soap. This looks lovely. Lovely. That's so pretty. Next one, just stream through these. So what I've been watching this week, you ask? I've been watching Darius J. Wright. If you're a fan of Darius J. Wright, you'll know who I'm talking about. If not, look him up if you're into weird and wonderful and out-of-body experiences. Watch Darius. He's got so much insight into life and all that kind of stuff, and that's the kind of thing I like to watch and absorb, you know. So recently I've been watching, and you know how the algorithm goes. If you start watching something like that, then, or something like anything, your whole feed will then become based upon that subject. So I've been watching lots of him this week, and it's actually, oh, I don't know if it make you feel better, you know, about the state of the world. He's just brilliant. He has a technique that he uses for how to leave the body when you are in sleep paralysis. So if you ever suffer from sleep paralysis, there's a technique you can use to leave the body and go off and explore. And some of you might think this sounds a bit nuts, which it does, but it's so interesting. So if you can find him on any interview, which you will, because there's absolutely tons of interviews on YouTube with him, then go check him out. And I won't say much more because some people might think I'm nuts, but that's okay. It's just, I like to listen to people with intriguing insight or stories or experiences, because as we all know, this world is very complex and there's so much that we don't know. So I spend a lot of my time reading and wondering and listening to other people's experiences and thinking about my own experiences and things like that. So, and I said the other day, I've veered away from politics and anything to do with mainstream crap. I meant it. I really am not paying it any mind anymore. I'm listening to other things that mean something to me and make me feel good about my existence here on the planet, you know? So that's what I'm doing. These are super pretty, super pretty. So yeah, it's good for the soul to just turn off all that rubbish and listen to something else. Well, it's good for mine anyway. You do you, but I hate that saying, you do you, but you know, that's how it goes. You can't make people watch anything that they don't want to watch. But you usually like to know what I'm doing and what I'm watching and what I'm interested in, so that's what I'm sharing today with you guys. Okay, that's the other side of that one. Oh, come on, camera. There we go. There you go. And the last one is here, and I have enough for some samples, so that's good. That's very good. So there we go, that's the last bar and the last soap I'll be making this week because it's Friday. So there we go, silver needle rose tea and wild fig. So I'll be back very soon with the next batches that I'm doing. I got a list, a really long list, so I'm sure you'll like to hang out with the next one. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. It's free, you don't have to do anything, but it helps the channel to grow. Give this video a like if you would please, it just helps. And yeah, if you want to have a chat about anything in the comments, feel free, and I will try and get back to people as much as I can. And that's it, I will see you soon, and take care of yourselves and have a great weekend. Ta-ta.